Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Green Park Hotel and Resort here in Pendik, Istanbul. East versus West 8 is right around the corner. And once again, the man sat just to the side of me has assembled an array of phenomenal arm wrestlers from all around the world. Just one day away and we get the opportunity to hear from these guys individually. Engin, I wanted to just come to you initially. You've established quite a card here, big event. It ran your nerves a little ragged at the edge there, but the main event is on. For anybody out there who'd been listening to the internet, that there may have been some risk. It was saved at the last minute. It's going to be a banger. The emotions are intense. How's the nerves?
At the end, I'm happy that we are all together. And I was just telling to Levan that I love when we are all together. I feel like a family. And we all do our best. There were some cancellations and replacement matches, but at the end, you know, it will be a great show, and I would like to thank to the whole community for their support.
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get underway with the action, and we are going to start with the first match on our card, which is Mindaugas Telasaitis of Lithuania and Hristo Delajakov of Bulgaria. And we're going to start with Hristo Delajakov. Now, many of you at home may have been familiar with this guy's face and don't know why, kind of like me when I'm watching some porn. But let me tell you, Hristo Delajakov is a very established individual. This man may be familiar to you from the referee's shirt, but he has got titles, he's got accolades coming out of his ear holes. And I want you to hear from him now. Firstly, Hristo, how different is this experience when you're coming up here, sat looking across this room at all these tremendous athletes? You're usually sat out there getting ready to do your job tomorrow night. Where's the nerves at? Where's the anticipation at? And which do you like best, refereeing or competing?
Oh, thank you, Neil, for the question. Thank for Engin and everybody to that opportunity to come here to competing. The refereeing, it's not easy, but to competing in this tournament, I feel my level of adrenaline going up, you know, now when I'm speaking. I come here to show I'm not only referee, you know, and you see I'm not only referee. Some of us who is competing a long time ago knows I have some titles, but I will show now for all the people who buy pay-per-view and watch YouTube exactly how strong I am.
Hey, Hristo, you're being a little bit modest there, okay? So let's stop right there. First of all, there's no braggadocio about it. Just tell everybody at home how long you've been arm wrestling and exactly what titles you've won.
How long? I started my first European Championship. It was 2001 in Břeclav in Czech Republic. I took I think, 6th place in junior 63 kilo. My first world title was in 2012 in Brazil, actually my world title. I have a lot of medals in some championship. I take 2015 European title.
So that's not bad, is it?
Yeah, it's
European champion.
Yeah, even
world champion.
Even the last World Championship, I take the 4th place, and I was very close to get in the first 3. You know, very close. Yanis can say it's how close I was.
So for anybody out there who isn't familiar with your pedigree, European champion, Bulgarian national champion, world champion, it's fair to say that you've been there and done it in the sport. Now, it's also fair to say that you are familiar with the man you will face tomorrow night. You guys have met before. Tell everybody what happened last time out.
The last time? Last time when I meet Minda, he was in good shape, but actually he make a very long match before me. Probably he was tired, and I just smashed him.
Yeah, nobody really cares about that. You know, whatever happened. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
So, one more question before we go over to Mindaugas. This is a different format. You're familiar with pulling this guy, and your career has been made mostly in main draw arm wrestling. Tomorrow, it's multiple round super match format, and you've got a pretty sticky style. You're a man who's proficient in the King's move. Should we expect to see that tomorrow? You're going to try to win a battle of attrition. Is it going to be about endurance?
I training a lot every day, and I think I have endurance, but I will do what I must to do. You know, I will do my best. You know, if it's necessary to see my King's move, you will see my King's move, but only if it's necessary.
Let's go over the room to the man on the opposite side. Mindaugas Terasaitis, how are you doing, brother? Oh.
Well, feeling all right. You know, I arrived yesterday. Istanbul is great, weather is great. I was a little bit disappointed when I saw the shirts Engin designed.
I did that intentionally. Yeah, I and Hristo made that plan, and Hristo just made a Facebook post. He said, "How can I take this guy seriously?"
I think Engin still hates me after I destroyed him at Zloty a few years ago.
I beat you 12 times. Just focus on your opponent. I beat you 12 times. You beat me only twice by fouls. Just continue your opponent. Don't let me start. I'm gonna make everyone watch.
I'm sure you designed these shirts just to make me look small. I'm sure of that. But okay, anyways, the match with Hristo, to me it's very important. I will take the match very seriously. This kind of situation happens from time to time, where an average arm wrestler like Hristo would enjoy the refereeing, a little bit of arm wrestling, and suddenly he would feel like he can maybe compete with elite athletes like myself. So my task is here very important. I need to win in a very dominant fashion. So when he comes back home, he doesn't really have any more of those kind of ideas. I want him to just focus on improving his refereeing skills. I don't really want him to continue arm wrestling afterwards.
So let's just recap here, mate. Originally, your opponent was going to be the Jedi, Giannis Amelins. He was unable to contest the match. He got injured, and you got a replacement. It was Doug Ehrlich of the USA. Second man to get injured. And in comes Hristo Delajakov.
First he was said to Giannis. Giannis got injured, and then Doug Ehrlich, I said, he got injured, and then I said Artur Makarov, for some reason, that got also, this is the fourth opponent, you know.
So three opponents.
I thought that the referee was coming anyways, you know, so I said,
yep.
You know.
Now, joking aside, obviously, I know that you're having a bit of fun there with Hristo and you like to get in people's heads, but is this an equivalent challenge? Do you respect the caliber of arm wrestler that Hristo is? He's got a pretty clunky style there. You know he's proficient at the King's move. Is that a style that can give you problems tomorrow?
No, I think the match is going to be very, very easy. I'm not worried at all. I think it's going to be just a walk in the park.
Confident as always. So let's say you do come through Hristo Delajakov tomorrow. Who is in your sights? Who's the match that you want next?
1 second. Why you didn't ask the same question to Hristo? I think Neil is taking side here.
I was going to ask the same question to Hristo, actually. Exactly the same question. And we will do. Who would you like next if you were successful?
Well, I'm just going for a world title. So whoever is in front of me, I will take them. Possibly Daniel Prokopchuk or Nurdouled again, or whoever is at the top.
Actually, we'll change the question to you a little bit, Hristo, because it puts you in a little bit of a difficult position tomorrow. If you beat this guy, or with the look in your eyes when you beat this guy.
Why you not believe in me?
What is next? Do you come into East versus West without your striped shirt? Are you done with refereeing? Should we expect to see you more up at the table in a different guise?
Probably somebody with, with different shirt, or his arm under the shirt will be bigger. Can be.
You don't want to beat someone who looks skinny because people will say, "Oh, you just beat this guy, huh?"
Even when I beat him, nobody will say, "Oh, you beat the guy with that shirt, you know, with these arms." Not good.
Match number 1 on our card in the lightweight division tomorrow night. Hristo Delajakov, Terasaitis will go at it to kick off. And then we move to the ladies next up. And a newcomer to East versus West. She hails from the USA, Elizabeth Masek. Now, Ingrid, let's talk about the qualifiers. You ran a series of qualifying events around the world. This is the lady that rose to prominence through that qualifier. Tell me what you know about this young lady and what you expect tomorrow night.
Yeah, the truth is, I don't run the qualifications, but there are so great events in North America, South America, Europe, and I asked them if they would do qualification in their event, and thanks to them that they did a great job, and especially to Pauline and Travis, and I would like to thank them. And so I saw the finals in Virginia, and she was very dominant, she was very strong, and as we promised that we invited her, and then I see that, you know, she has big passion, and she wants to do more and more. She's not like a few years, right? A few years?
Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah, a few years, and she's already there, you know, and pulling at the East versus West. And for me, it is very exciting, and I kind of feel like she's on the way of Pauline. Pauline didn't have so much international experience, just came here, started to rock, and now the whole world knows that he's real deal. But we will see, because Carolina is also an incredible puller, the queen of the endurance. She has some of the longest matches. I just can't wait to see them. Yeah, you go ahead.
So Travis, you obviously ran the event where this lady rose to prominence, and we were speaking earlier today, you told me this girl is strong, really strong. Michelle Dugan strong, Angie Rose strong. Now, with limited experience, what do you expect to see from Elizabeth tomorrow?
Yeah, I think the qualifier was pretty amazing in North America. We had Michelle Dugan. We thought Angie Rose was going to be there. I think the competition was stiff enough for Angie to stay home. It's really, to me, just 2 years in, I think that we could have like a real American women's champion in the lightweight division. I know that Michelle Dugan wanted that spot really well, trained really hard. I personally know how strong she is, and for Elizabeth to take care of her like that, there could be, you know, a rising star like Ingrid mentioned.
So let's introduce you to and hear from the lady herself. Elizabeth, welcome to East versus West. Obviously, you're a newcomer to the game, relatively unknown at this stage, but the opportunity for a signal flare moment for you tomorrow. Where are you at mentally tonight as you sit here? Where's the excitement? Where's the nerves heading into what's got to be your most high-profile match to date?
I'm ready. I've been ready for probably about 2 weeks ago. I just need to get on that plane. So I was out weight. You can ask Pauline right there. I was ready to go.
And the second question,
Yeah.
you're pulling a girl tomorrow who is from arguably the dominant nation. If you look at the number, the depth of talent coming out of Sweden.
Yeah, but that's just a nationality.
Just a nationality.
That's just
But
a
you're
nationality.
facing one of their best pullers at the weight. Talk about in at the deep end. Does that faze you at all, or does it excite you?
I mean, in the finals, I took care of a couple of them. So, just another nationality.
It's not just a nationality.
All right, we'll see.
Just a nationality. How much do you actually know about Caro? Have you studied her coming into this? Because we know Paul Lynn, for example, super diligent guy. Paul's the guy that's going to go do his homework. He's going to have a picture of this person imprinted on his toothbrush. That's Paul Lynn. What about you? Are you looking at video? Are you watching these girls?
Yeah, Predator doesn't show her cards, though. So, I'm always watching, but I'm not going to flat out say what I've been watching.
Let's go the same question to you, Caro. What do you know about Elizabeth Masek? Have you studied her? Have you seen her compete before? She's relatively unknown. She only rose to prominence recently. Is this a girl you know anything about?
Yeah, of course, because I'm going to face her, so of course I done my homework, and I know that she had like major progress in just 2 years. She's a good puller, but she's more strong than like technical, and that's where I think that I have my advantage.
And when you look at this match, obviously you've pulled very powerful girls before. You only have to look at Elizabeth and she looks strong. You're a girl that's getting a reputation for the marathon, not the sprint, the drawn-out affair. you've been in some unbelievable matches. I mean, you only have to watch the Victoria Ilyushina match in Norway, ran for an incredible amount of time, yourself and Victoria back home. Is your plan tomorrow to win the long game? Are you looking to drag this girl into deep water and then hold her under?
Yeah, the thing is, I don't only have the endurance. It's good endurance, but it doesn't mean that it's the only thing that I have.
Do you perceive there being a strength gap? Do you think Elizabeth is going to be stronger than you in key areas?
Yeah, I think that she is probably has more like strength in her body, but maybe not like in the right places, but I don't know. But in a total, absolutely. I think that she's stronger, but I think that I'm gonna... I know that I have my advantages.
Quietly
let's say
confident.
That. Yeah, let's say that.
Now let's finish where we started with Elizabeth and get a bit of information on your background, because you do not look like you're alien to the gym. What is your pedigree in strength sport, in sport generally? Where did you come from?
As far as like how I'm training, like my background is in
any sport. Where did
any
you
sport.
get that body from?
I used to be a horseback rider, but I took a serious injury and I had a traumatic brain injury, and I came back from that about 5 years ago, and I never looked back. Just hitting the gym every day.
And she obviously hit it hard. That is our second match on the card, and what a match it is. We move to match number 3, and it is an exciting one as we welcome back Justin Bishop, the Bama Bull, and Toms Rosits of Latvia. For people around the world, this may look like a mismatch on paper. You've got a guy with the established reputation in Justin Bishop and a relative newcomer in Toms. We're going to start with Justin. Justin, this is almost like the history repeating thing, isn't it? You initially rose to fame back in the days of the UAL by taking an unexpected pin off a Latvian legend in the Jedi, Jānis Amelins. Do you have any concerns that we might be seeing the shoe go onto the other foot here? Because this time around, you are sat across looking at a newly crowned European champion, albeit on another arm, a young Latvian matador who's going to try his hand out at a bit of Bama bullfighting. What's the level of threat on your read?
I don't really feel threatened. I didn't see anything that he's done that really impressed me. I mean, he's beat a couple of mediocre top rollers and has trouble with hookers, so I don't really see a huge threat, to be honest.
And the other thing I think it's worth pointing out, anybody that's tuned in to watch the show tonight will notice that you look physically very different from the last time we saw you here at East versus West. And maybe the best version of you, many people may say, was the version that we saw go against Rob Bidgent Jr. in Atlanta at the WAL. Are you that guy? Are we looking at that kind of form again here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely a lot more healthy than I've been in probably 5 years. Like, as far as my elbow, being able to do the things I want to do in the gym, it's held me back in the past. I mean, the last time you seen me, I was only training for about 8 or 9 weeks, and I've been training since then, so the better half of a year. So, much, much stronger. I expect a much different result.
Tremendous stuff. Now let's come over to Tom's. Mate, first time out, and we know from looking at you in the qualifier that you're extremely confident. East versus West qualifier champion, EAF European champion. You're not without experience. You're on quite a tear at the moment, it's fair to say, Toms. And speaking to your teammates, speaking to Sandri Shedis, speaking to Ray, speaking to Jānis, they all tell me that you have got incredible pedigree and you're a real rising star from your country. As you look across the room now at Justin, do you feel like you're the favourite going into tomorrow night's match, or do you feel like the underdog?
I think it's not going to be hard because stylistically it's going to be good for me. So if there is some surprises, I can switch my move and push in all of the ways, so I don't care.
You got one move. One move.
You will see everything tomorrow.
Mediocre top rollers aren't the same as me. Like, y'all don't make top rollers like me over here.
Yeah, I will just hold you and push you in side pressure, and that's all.
When you say technically it should be easy, do you feel like you've had a lot of experience behind the scenes and advice from people like Giannis who have faced Justin before? Have you been doing your homework in that respect, Toms?
Yeah, that's the point. I'm trained by Jedi, so you will see.
You can tell that that one is bristling, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable match in prospect. And we move on to the next match on our card. And this is going to be exciting. Hopefully, the deliverance for one of these guys. Both men have had rocky pasts, but one of them wants to make a statement here. Andrei Lightning Ciprianov, welcome to East versus West, brother. Lachlan Adair, the Amble from Australia, will go next up. Now, let's start with Ciprianov. There's been a lot of talk about this match. Obviously, in the lead up to it, some of Lachlan's supporters over in Australia believe that this may be a strength mismatch, that this guy just is too powerful for you, based on arm wrestling maths, your previous results, his previous results. Do you even think about things like that? Do you believe that you may be outgunned in strength here, Andre?
Yeah, it's a difficult match. Lachlan are so powerful guy, but I think I will be faster and I can beat him.
And if the match was to stop, if you were to be stopped and you have any kind of arm strength, do you think you can make it a tough match, or do you think he's much stronger than you?
Yeah, then can be harder, yeah, if he stopped me, yeah.
So it's the game plan is to finish quick.
Yeah.
And let's go over to Lachlan Adair. Lachlan, we've seen you pull a number of times. You've had mixed fortunes. You went over to the USA. You looked incredible. We saw you over in Dubai. You struggled, albeit against an incredibly powerful opponent. Here in East versus West, you faced Sandro Sheris. Had a difficult day out here. A few false dawns there and massive amount of pressure because you came in with a big reputation. Do you feel that pressure when you come in and you face a guy like Andre? Do you feel like you're a massive favorite, and does that give you encouragement, or does it make you a little nervous that this could be a bit of a banana skin?
I don't really pay attention to what people say. I concentrate on the man in front of me, and I'm in a tunnel vision, so it's not something I'm concerned about, the reputation going in. So.
No, it's fair to say that you're always a man of few words. You don't go in there and talk your own matchup. Prefer to let your actions on the table do all the talking. Do you, inside yourself, believe what was said by your teammates over in Oz, that you are too strong for this? You're going to be a different league and make this a very easy day?
Yeah, of course, I'm obviously very confident in my abilities. And look, those losses you mentioned last year, I'll quote Todzilla, me taking a loss means nothing, because in 6 months' time, I'm a different puller. I'm too smart. I improve all the time. I train too hard. It's just the man I was last year is not the man I am this year. So bringing an entirely different package, and I think he's in a lot of trouble.
One more question for you, Lachlan, before we move on. Styles make matches. We talk about this a lot. And you've faced some very, very fast arm wrestlers in the past. Irakli Zirakashvili, really prominent example of that. That gave you some issues. Tomorrow, you're facing another man who is blisteringly quick. Lightning Ciprianov. The clue's in the title. What can you do to put the brakes on this guy?
Look, there was just mistakes in the setup against Irakli. It wasn't so much a strength thing. And I've fixed all those things. So all we're going to do is watch how slow I can make him look. I'm no slouch myself.
Very, very confident approach from Lachlan Adair, Andrei Ciprianov. What a match in prospect there. We move forward with a rising star in the sport from Croatia, Rino Masic. Now, Rino, let's start with you. John Brzenk, the perfect storm, a man universally recognized as the best to ever do it in this game. And if you were around early in the sport, the 80s, the early 90s, people will say that there was never a surprise that John had rose to prominence at that time, because if you'd followed his career back to the early days, he was killing it when he was 18 years old. He was young and still a killer. You look at what you've achieved now at the age you're at, and just let everybody know at home, how old are you, Reno?
I'm 18 years old.
18 years old. And tell everybody at home, Reno, what have you accomplished? What are your accolades in the sport at 18 years old? What have you won?
Well, I've won a lot of things, so to keep it short, I'm a multiple European and world champion in the junior, youth, and the youth category, and the senior class as well.
Let's just say that one more time. Champion in the European junior,
yes,
and senior.
Yeah, and senior class.
So they're happening at the same time, on the same week. You won both.
Yes.
Truly exceptional.
And I think he took second in the world, both in 2021 and 2022. I think one was against Margarin.
Yes, and
in
the other one.
2021 Romania, and last year he took second place with left arm only to Kedirgali Garbaev.
Yes.
In the seniors, yeah.
Now you make the reference there, Engin, to Kirigali. Reno is another one. We talk a lot about the guys that are coming through the sport from a young age. You're clearly an example of that. But your experience to date, Reno, has been at the national championships, European championships, the WAF World Championships, formal main draw tournaments. When you're sat here now, how different does this feel, mate? Do you feel like you're home here, or do you feel a little bit nervous, a bit out of your comfort zone?
Well, I feel fine. I don't really feel like I'm somewhere else. I feel like perfectly confident. It's a bit different than pulling traditional, normal, tournament-style arm wrestling, but I'm ready, and I had a few super matches leading up to this one, so I know what I'm getting myself into, and I'm ready.
Now, if you care to look back, there's a lot of footage of Terence Opperman, a guy who had a great reputation. He's got massive wins in this game. Have you been doing the homework there, mate? Have you studied this guy?
Of course, Terence is someone that should not be taken lightly, and I, of course, did my homework, and I researched as much as I can, and I know his strengths and his weaknesses, so I'm ready.
Let's go over and meet our South African signature arm wrestler, Terence Opperman. Terence, we know, mate, that you are a guy with massive experience, with massive victories in this game. But we also know that you don't usually care who you arm wrestle. It's more like, martini, anytime, any place, anywhere. Well, Rino Masic has got a huge reputation, and you're looking to re-establish yourself at the top of the game. Have you researched this guy? Have you watched what he's achieved? And does that make you nervous at all?
No, not really nervous. I feel confident. I see a lot of Reno. I see a lot of myself in Reno. I was also young when I started. I was 20 years old, and there was no junior class for me to compete in, so I only had seniors. And at one stage, I was also ranked second left and third right in the 100 kilogram class. Mm-hmm. So but I'm confident. I think it's going to be a good match.
Now, people might look at this, mate, and think, this is a really weird match for you to accept and get excited about, because you're the guy that had the established reputation. You're coming in here to pull a young guy who's an absolute killer, but hasn't established a reputation on the super match format yet. He's a guy that this is his first time out. Do you get the feeling that you're being fed to the wolves a little bit? Do you feel like you're the favorite coming in here, or do you think that the general public will expect you to lose?
I don't think I'm the favorite, but I think his style of arm wrestling favors mine. So I think I'm going to have a good match with him. And obviously the ultimate goal is to get a title match. So we'll see. We have to start somewhere.
Do you feel like, because of the fact that this is Reno's first outing, that if you were to come in and beat Reno impressively, that would get you the goal of re-establishing yourself at the top of this division?
Yes, no, definitely. I feel sorry for Reno, but his debut at East versus West is going to be against me, because obviously both of us needs to win this next match to go up in East versus West. So definitely I feel very confident, and I think my experience is going to dominate his speed.
Truly one of the best matches on the card, in my opinion. I cannot wait to see that one go down. You must be excited.
I love when both athletes are coming here so confident, believing that they will be victorious. I love that. I just love that when they don't have any doubt. It just makes me more excited to wait what's going to happen.
And you can really feel it off these guys.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to mention. I'm sure that Reno also feeling the same way. And then tomorrow, one of them will be proven to be right and the other one wrong. But we will see who is.
Paul Lynn, we talked a lot today about confidence and what it can mean in a match. Everybody in the room can feel that these guys really believe that they are going to take tomorrow. Who've you got, mate, and why?
Oh man, we talked about it. This is one of the ones I really wanted to see because both guys, like I know of what Terrence has done, but I haven't seen it firsthand, and I've heard all the stories about Reno, and I see what he's doing, and he's so young. I'm so excited. I can't predict it. I genuinely do not have a prediction, but like you said, when the energy's good like that, and both guys have that energy, you're bound to see some type of war.
What a matchup. Another reason you should buy this if you haven't already, guys, and we move on to our next matchup, and believe me, this is another absolute banger. From Ukraine, Oleg Petrenko, back in East versus West, and you only need to look at that guy in the sleeveless shirt to think that this has been designed for him. Those arms look very right. His opponent for the United States of America is Chance Shaw. The tugboat back in the house. Chance, let's start with you. You've had some really big wins, mate. Really impressive wins, both domestically at home in the United States of America and actually here at East versus West. You've shown your colours. Probably Zurab, I would say, is your most impressive win to date. Also, I want to say that many people might believe this is a step up in class, but when we spoke after the Zurab match, you said, I knew I was going to do well in that because stylistically, this guy is tailor-made for me. When you look across the room now, Oleg, do you feel a similar vibe? Do you think that this is a guy that's going to try and catch hold of you, he's going to try and contain you, and that's going to allow us to see the very best of Chance Shaw?
I think in general, Oleg does pull in a lane where I am very comfortable. That being said, he is a lot more versatile than Zurab is, so I don't think it's a perfect comparison. Oleg is very dangerous. He has a lot of tools. It seems like he's strong in all angles, so ultimately, I just need to be efficient.
Now, also the last time out, when you pulled David Ariboli, remember speaking afterwards, you were very disappointed. You said, look, I can only level up from here and I need to work on my control when I get to the A side on the table. Do you feel like you've progressed a great deal in that time? Do you feel you're ready for this kind of challenge tomorrow?
Absolutely. As far as controlling when I'm on the winning side, I feel like that's almost all I've been working on. Now I just need to get to the winning side.
Ladies and gents, let's have a quick word with Oleg Petrenko. Obviously, Oleg, you look across the room and Chance is a very big man. He is the bigger, if you look aesthetically, he's the bigger guy. He's also got a very, very good low hand top roll, which has caused problems for people who try to get anchored on him and try to get hold of his arm, try to stop him and close him down. Despite that size advantage, do you feel like you're the stronger man? And this is more of a challenge of technicality, of technique, rather than a test of strength for you.
Привіт всім. Так, він дійсно більше мене, але це не проблема для мене. Я боров більших суперників за себе. Я думаю, що я переможу 3-0, тому що я добре готувався, підтягнув свої слабкі місця. Чи я йому удобний, ну, не знаю. Стіл покаже.
He believes, first he said hi to everyone. He believes he has worked really hard for this. He believes he will win 3-0. He worked on his, how to say, weak areas, and he said those are no more weak areas.
What a match in prospect. Two very different styles, Oleg and Chance. Well, we know that one's going to ignite tomorrow. We move into our next match, match number 7 on the card, Daniel Prokopchuk. What a match this is. Left-hand dominance shown from this man so many times in his career. But tomorrow, he faces a very powerful Armenian. Emil Amersadyan is a beast, and he may be underrated by a lot of people tuning in tonight. Just because the name isn't there, I wanted to come to you initially, Engin, and just explain why you made this matchup a lesser known athlete like Emil, but we know he carries a really severe threat.
One of the reasons that I started to organize East versus West is because majority of the community they didn't know much about all the heroes of arm wrestling. And those are mostly the pullers from WAF. And even up to today, you know, I can say up to 90 kilo, the WAF champions are like untouchable, you know, untouchable. And many people don't know what's going on there, but especially the lightweight categories are just nightmares. Nightmare. So to win WAF title in those like 70, 75, 80, I mean, just like one of the hardest thing to do on this short, and many people don't realize this. And the guy that they don't know actually is many times world champion, and he has won, just say, 2018 Europeans in Bulgaria over Daniel, Mindaugas, and Cherkasov in the same category. So I think that would explain enough. So what I'm just saying that Daniel is rock. I mean, like Daniel is just like the, how to say, like farthest point that a 75 kilo guy can reach.
And on the left arm,
yeah,
many people watching
left arm,
feel the better on.
His left arm, yeah, because he never won right arm WAF, he took second, but left arm, he won, as far as I know, 4 times, yeah. And he's also with right arm, won Zloty, left arm, he's incredible, you know, his just joints are like not human joints, it's just, they're like steel joint. And many people may not know, but he's also surgeon, orthopedist doctor. And this guy, Emil, has wins over Daniel, and Daniel also has wins over Emil.
But it's fair to say that Amir Sadyan has sort of operated in the shadows. He's the guy that's not.
Yeah. So this
is
is someone like me. This is my duty. That is the reason that I am doing this East versus West, to bring superstars like Emil to the, you know, spotlight, you know, because he deserves. I don't know who's gonna win tomorrow. I don't know if Emil is gonna win or Daniel is gonna win, which I don't really care. But they both deserve to be there, and they both deserve to pull for world title. And anyone who knows arm wrestling knows that what I am saying is truth, you know.
And it's fair to say, obviously we spoke about this being Daniel's favorite arm. Same with Emil, really. You would have to say, you know, both these guys are very at home on the left.
Yes. I mean, they both have very strong arms. Maybe the left arm competition level, maybe a little bit lower than right arm. Maybe, I don't know. But for sure, they both are doing great with right arm too. Emil also did many final matches against Artur Makarov with right arm. His right arm is also very good. He just, not the last one, but the one before, he was second at the AMC event with right arm. He pulled against Alan Zolaev. He toppled Alan Zolaev, gave him a long match, and then Alan Zolaev won by dead wrist. But so what I'm just saying, that to put Alan Zolaev to such position is also, I mean, incredible, especially today. Alan Zolaev looks untouchable. To give him such trouble is not something that everyone can do.
Let's go over to Emil himself. Emil, obviously, welcome to East versus West, mate. Do you feel like this match with Daniel on an arm that everyone knows is his favorite arm will allow you to really announce your arrival in the division to those new fans out there who may not be familiar with you? And how confident are you in success tomorrow?
Я в этом поединке подготовился нормально, неплохо. И готов со всеми силами бороться с ним. Я давно не боролся именно левой рукой, но я себя хорошо чувствую. А так по поводу техники соперника и по поводу себя, я думаю, как бы ничего нового нету, но я уверен, что соперник тоже прибавил в силе. И я тоже, конечно. Вот. Кто сильнее, победит.
He say it's he prepared for this match for his left arm. He didn't compete a long time left arm, but he prepared for Daniel. He see matches of Daniel and he's thinking he didn't see something new in the technical from his matches. They are 1-1 in this moment on the left arm. Right arm he beat him more times, and he see Daniel it's a little bit stronger now, but he say he's feel ready and he come for this match and he lets the strongest win. You know, he think the best guy in the match will win.
Let's go over to Daniel and have a quick word with the man of the moment. Obviously, Daniel, you've become very, very popular. There's a lot of people out there who love your style, and when we've spoken to people about this match, it seemed like everyone believed that you have no real competition at your weight on the left arm, and you were a resounding favourite. You've never failed to impress here at East versus West. In fact, you rarely cease to impress anywhere you arm wrestle. But I think it's fair to say this guy may represent a different level of threat. Are you very aware of how dangerous Emil is?
Да, у меня левая неплохая, но последний раз, кому я проиграл, это Эмиль в 2019 году. После этого никому не проиграл. Но левый участвовал только на чемпионате Европы и мира. И мне интересно, если найдется в категории 75 килограмм, который мне сможет выиграть на левую руку.
So he pretty much started with, yeah, my left is not bad. Last time I lost with it was 2019. It was to Emil. And since then, I feel very confident that it's not going to happen again.
So it's fair to say then you see yourself as a significant favourite going into tomorrow night's match. It's fair to say that he sees himself as a significant favourite going into the match tomorrow.
Как Эмиль сказал, что он много времени не боролся на левую, я думаю, что фаворит, но стол покажет. Может, у него сейчас левая здоровая и сильная. Но посмотрим. Стол покажет.
He said that Emil hasn't fought in quite some time with his left arm, so he hasn't seen him pull. So maybe he has added, but Daniel feels like he is the favorite, but still the table going to tell the story.
Daniel Prokopchuk, confident as ever, but he's keeping it quiet today. We will see tomorrow night. What a match in prospect again. One of the matches that's been talked about the least on this card, but arguably one of the very best. We move on to match number 8 and back to the right arm. Sandris Panza Shedis, the MF chef in the mother fluffing house. And he will face Pavlo Derbedenev, now residing in the USA and a man with an enormous reputation. Let's just check in quickly with Travis Bagent, with Paul Lynn, just to get an indication of how strong Pavlo Derbedenev is. This guy is really on a tear over there.
Yes, Pablo has definitely elevated his game. He's the dude right now, especially right there in the Midwest, controlling everything. So once again, a foreign competitor who has came to the United States. Once he arrived in the United States, he was in the top 10. After 2 weeks living in the United States, he's the greatest American arm wrestler who's ever lived.
Yeah, Pablo's the real deal. I have firsthand experience. So I've gotten to arm wrestle with him, and he is absolutely no joke. And he's one of those guys that you can just see the work ethic and the stuff that he's doing. His level is continuing to rise. Every time we see him, we see a better version. And I think after talking to him, this may be actually the heaviest, largest version of Pablo to walk. So I'm very interested for sure in this match. This is another one I had highlighted because we all know how good Sanders is and how versatile Sanders is. And I know personally that Pablo has some very intimidating things in the setup, and there are lanes where he could, in fact, be dominant. To me, it's super interesting on paper to see how the stylistic match breaks out.
You heard it. You are forked.
So let's check in with Pavlo. Pavlo, welcome to East versus West, mate. I spoke about Oleg looking decent in that shirt. I think you were made to wear that thing, mate. The arms are looking pretty massive tonight. Now, you're known for the top-end strength. You're known for the power. We've seen you do one-arm pull-ups. And tell everybody what you weigh so they get their head around that.
Yeah, good evening, everybody, first of all, and thank you for inviting. I'm very proud to be here. And yes, this is true. I think I am on the stronger side, and probably I'm not as good technique-wise as I am strong, but I'm working on it constantly, and I'm improving both ways. And thank you for comments, Travis and Paul. I'm a little blushing. And yeah, I am not underestimating my opponent for sure, and huge respect. And I'm very confident because I really think I'm a stronger person, and I think my chances are pretty good, and we will see tomorrow.
Now, we've seen you in the Supermatch competition before over in Dubai at the King of the Table. You had an amazing start. The gas tank was the thing that let you down at the end of the day. Have you done a lot of work on that, Pablo? Have you changed your training? I know that you're very diligent in your approach to the sport.
Absolutely. The King of the Table was my first 6-round super match. I did my imperfections in my preparation. I was gaining lots of power and weight because it was super heavyweight match. So I adjusted a lot. I've been sitting on this weight now for almost half a year. And I changed my training endurance side. So yes, I'm different.
And the last question before we go over to your opponent. This is a man who's very, very well known, very decorated, world champion. We've seen him many times in Supermatch competition around the world against some of the biggest names in the game. Have you done a lot of study? Have you done a lot of homework on Sanders, where his strengths, his weaknesses are? And how do you feel that stylistically he matches up against you?
Stylistically, it's going to be a very interesting match. And yes, I did my homework for sure. And I believe that Sanders doesn't have really weaknesses. He's very well-rounded and he can pull anywhere. So I will use my stronger sides to win.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pavlo Doberdeniev will go over to the MF chef, Panzer Shedis, in the house. Mate, do you think they could have found one bigger?
Probably not.
He's looking, he fills that shirt out, doesn't he? But
Looks
joking
pretty
aside,
big, yeah, pretty big.
You've got experience, you're a big boy yourself. I asked him a moment ago, stylistically, how do you see this? How does this play out in your mind? You're the man with the experience. Many people may think that you're the better technician. Are we looking for a technical win tomorrow, or do you think you can meet this guy on top-end strength?
No, the way I see it is he loses his hand and then he loses.
And we've seen you here pulling very, very high-level competition. We've seen you elsewhere against some of the best in the world. This is a rising star from North America, but what level of threat does this fella really represent? You tore through Matt Mask. Is this guy a bigger threat than someone like Matt, or do you think because of the experience, it's not as dangerous?
I would say he's somewhat similar, but probably has more top-end strength than Matt. And yeah, it's going to be... He's probably like physically stronger, but you know, arm sling is not about gym lifts only. So I think I have more ways to win and adjust if I need to, and yeah, got the speed as well, so we'll see.
Now, we spoke to Pav a minute ago about how he saw this thing, and he said he feels like he's the stronger man. Obviously, many people will believe that you've got that technical aspect covered and dialed in. You've also been able to see this man compete a lot. He's extremely active. We know that his endurance has suffered in the past. Will your plan be to try to put the bleed on early?
Yeah, probably, you know. like find my ways around the setup as well. You know, try to probably finish as fast as possible if I can, and I'm pretty confident I can do that. If it stops somewhere, you know, I think my endurance will be sufficient and better to win the match as well.
Now, we know you're a really diligent guy, Sandris, and we know that you're heading over to the World Championships in around a month's time. Is it an indication of how confident you are that you've accepted this match just a month away from Worlds? Does that give us, should we read into that a little bit, that you feel like you can get this thing done quickly?
Yeah, like Worlds 4 weeks away, so better to do it quickly, you know, not to lose too much energy and save a little bit of some injuries or something. But yeah, we'll try to finish quick and then prepare for Worlds, what's left.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sandris Shedis, Pavlo Debedenev will be match number 8 on the card. And if you like classic matches, get ready for match number 9, because it is an absolute howler. This one should go off like a bomb. Wagner Bortolato of Brazil will face Ferit Osmanli of Turkey. These guys have been around the game forever. Both have won everything there is to win. And tomorrow they will collide headlong. Left-handed here at East versus West 8. I want to come to you, Engin. What a match. This is classical, but it should be an absolute screamer.
Yeah, they both, unfortunately, I should say, lost their last game, but they both gave hell to their opponents. The Serrano versus Wagner was a very close match, and Corey West versus Ferit was also a very close match. The result was 3-2 in both super matches, and of course, both of these gentlemen, they deserve to have another super match, and it is gonna be a battle of shoulder pressure of Wagner Bortolato and probably hook of Ferit, but Ferit, to win, he needs to be quick enough to bring the match to his winning side, you know, because once Wagner puts his shoulder behind, not many people can stop him. So we will see tomorrow. We will see how they got prepared. Wagner looks very big, 150 kilo. I told him not to shake the table too hard. I don't want competition to end, you know, a broken table, you know. You promised me, right? Thank you.
No problem, no problem.
Voice of God. So let's get over to the athletes, and first of all, we'll catch up with Ferit Osmanli. Ferit, big match tomorrow night, mate. I wanted to do kind of a history check. Have you guys pulled many times before with the left arm?
Ferit, is it working? Yeah. Ferit, daha önce hiç karşılaştınız mı diye soruyor Wagner'le.
Öncelikle herkese merhaba. Beni davet ettiğiniz için teşekkür ederim. Esos West, Engin abiye, sponsorlarımıza çok teşekkür ederiz. Böyle bir organizasyon yapıyorsunuz. Evet, Bortolato'yla bir sürü dünya şampiyonasında katıldık ama karşılaşamadık. 2011 ben gittim Amerika'da dünya şampiyonasına gittik beraber. Bortolato gelmedi, orada karşılaşamadık. 2012'de ben gidemedim, Brezilya'da oldu. Orada da karşılaşamadık. 2013 ben Polonya'da dünya şampiyonu oldum, 110 kiloda sahası oldum. O oraya gelmedi. Bir türlü karşılaşamadık. Demek ki nasibimiz buradaymış. Burada bakalım güzel olacak.
Yeah, he said first of all he thanks everyone, to the sponsors, and he said that like many times, you know, they have competed the World Championship, but the year he competed, Wagner didn't compete. Following year, Wagner competed, he didn't compete. And then 2013, he competed, won, and Wagner didn't compete. So finally, they will meet tomorrow, yeah.
And what better place? Now, you know about this guy. You've been everywhere, you've seen him compete. It's fair to say that he's crafted his reputation on the left arm. You've had mixed fortunes. Your right has always been a great arm for you. Do you feel confident? Are you the favorite going into this thing tomorrow, Ferit?
Yeah, first of all, Levan, you're already bigger than me. Can you stop Out of England, go back a little bit, yeah. So, I'm joking. Can you remind me the question? Okay, you're right. Senin sağ kolun her zaman daha iyiydi ama solun da iyiydi. Solda kendini hissediyor musun diyor. Yani aynı özgüvenli hissediyor musun?
Evet, antrenman yaptım. Güzel kendimi hissediyorum. Sol en son Coresports'te yaptığımızda biraz göğsümde küçük bir travma oldu ama iyileşti şu anda. Umarım yarın güzel bir maç gösteririz Bartolato'yla. Sanırım güzel geçecek. Öyle hissediyorum.
He said that he trained very well and he had some issue with his back when he pulled against Coresports, and he thinks that he prepared well, and he's hoping that, and he's thinking that tomorrow will be a good match.
Let's get over to Wagner Bortolato, Brazil. Mate, big match tomorrow. You know this guy very well. You always get revved up. You're always intense in your matches. This should be no different. I'm sure you're excited and ready for the prospect to pull Ferret here on home ground also. How excited are you going into this thing?
Sempre estive preparado, né? O pessoal vê na internet as loucuras que eu faço. Isso já é de lei, né? Vai ser um prazer lutar com o Osmanli. E também sempre quis que acontecesse essa luta, deu certo. Não tem como. Vai ter um vencedor e um perdedor. Eu gostaria de ser o vencedor. I winner, mas que Deus escreveu, eu vou aceitar sem problema algum.
So he said that he always tries to be prepared. He's always training, as people can see in the internet. He's always doing the bodybuilding exercises and things. About the wish to get Ferret, he also has. He's really glad and really honored to be here and have this fight. But about the winner, he hopes that he can win, but may the best win tomorrow.
Interesting matchup and very, very important for these guys. We know it will underline their legacy and cap both of these guys' incredible careers. Match number 9, Wagner Bortolato, Ferret Osmanli on the left arm. We move to number 10, the penultimate matchup, and it will be Steel Morozov, Artem Morozov and Georgy Svetkov. What a match in prospect. Two massive individuals, two massive reputations. We'll start with you, Mr. Morozov. Looking lean, looking ready. You've lost some weight since the last time we saw you, mate. How is your shape? How is your form coming into tomorrow's match?
Всем привет. Спасибо Георгию, во-первых, за то, что согласился побороться на, как это говорится, коротком уведомлении. Чувствую себя хорошо. То, что вес меньше, вы не переживайте. Я просто долго отдыхал перед этими соревнованиями. Ну, в целом, чувствую себя отлично.
He said hi to everyone. He wants to thank Georgi for taking this match on short notice. Don't worry about my weight. I took more time to recover for this one and expect me to be ready tomorrow.
Now, I want to just ask Tom basically how he feels in terms of his sort of, what's the right word? Evolution, I suppose. Every time we see this guy arm wrestle, he seems to have leveled up dramatically. Whether it's right arm, left arm, he seems like he's growing in confidence and ability. He was scheduled to pull a very, very tough match. His opponent got injured. Does he feel like this is a representative match? Does he think it's a similar level to Gennady Quikvinia?
Ну, если такая тенденция пошла, что я эволюционирую, значит, то, что сейчас происходит, это тоже эволюция, поэтому достойно, конечно. Георгий тоже не из библиотеки, чемпион мира двукратный. Будем бороться.
He said, as you said, Neil, he's evolving, so this is another evolution for him. He believes that Georgi is a real opponent, multiple-time world champion, very strong arm wrestler, lot of experience, so he's ready to face him.
Artem, while you were drinking soup because of your stomach problem, this guy was eating my food, Levan's food, Hermes's food, you know, and then he was looking at your face. So Lemon, yeah, everything, you know. Yeah, tomorrow, you remember you were gonna punish him, you promised me, yeah?
Да, Энгин, я помню, что обещал наказать. Будем стараться. Мне это злость добавило.
Yeah, Engin, I remember. I remember what I told you, what I promised you. Tomorrow, I'll try to punish him, and I'll be very angry.
Can he tell us what he's gonna do each round?
Энгин, ну в первом раунде топ-ролл,
First round top roll.
Yeah, second round hook.
Third round?
Third round.
Shoulder ploppers. Okay. Okay.
Let's go over to Georgie. Mate, good to see you back at East versus West. And the last time out, I think you made a lot of fans around the world. You're back. You were last-minute replacement. When we spoke earlier today, you say, Neil, I got to save the show, right? You're just a month out from Worlds, and here you are at East versus West. And what an opponent. Steel Morozov, the Terminator. The man looks like he's been carved out of Zeus's tooth, but you're ready for the challenge. Where's your head at going into this, Georgie?
Before Georgi answers, I want to say that many people are thinking that a week before the event, the replacement, Georgi is not ready. In fact, I will explain to everyone that Georgi is getting ready for the WAF Worlds 5 weeks later. And the second of all, these Bulgarians, like they train till like last 3-4 days to the event. So 1 week before that is too long time for them, you know. And then even if they train once a day, every day, they say, oh, I cannot train so much because they train twice a day, one in the morning, one in the evening. Yeah, so the guy is well prepared and well rested.
The only time he stops is when he eats.
When he is what?
He eats everything.
Oh yeah. He was even stealing from our food today, from other table, you know.
Oh, let me tell you now, if you know strength is about intake of calories, well, this guy is sponsored by Fridge. You go out and have a barbecue with Georgie, you will see something spectacular. The guy does not play.
Neil, just ask Reno, ask Sandris how long it took their food to come yesterday to the restaurant. And then we asked to the guys, you know, in the kitchen, where is their food? He said, Georgi ate them all.
He's awesome. I love him. Georgie, getting back to it, where are you at, mate? Where's your head going into this? Because you said earlier you felt good, you felt ready.
Yeah, welcome to everybody. Thank you for inviting me again at the greatest event. I was preparing for the World Championship. Engin called me on Sunday, asked me, do you want to have a match with Morozov? And I said yes, because I understood that Gennady is injured and I respect too much Engin, and we had to save this great event, you know. So I'm ready. I was preparing for the Worlds, and I think that I'm in good shape. And I think that I have very big chance against Artyom. He is big, he is powerful, you know, he is strong, but I have very good experience, and I think that my chances are pretty good against him.
Now, a lot of people, you look, let's just have a look at this table over here. You've got Steel Morozov, you've got my friend, you've got Dennis, you've got Levan. These are the guys that everybody's talking about as being at the top of the sport. You're coming in here last minute. If you got to win tomorrow, suddenly you're at that table for real. It's a hell of an opportunity for you tomorrow. Are you excited by that?
Of course, it is an enormous opportunity for me, and I know that if I win this match, I will have another one, maybe against Devon or I don't know, even Hermes, and I will do everything to win. I want to win, you know.
And I want to ask you about Artem's comment, round 1, round 2, round 3. Is he dreaming or there is a possibility like that?
I will tell you what will happen, only like that. His wrist will be gone.
So his risk, he will lose. So there is only one possibility. This is number 3 option.
Yeah, only this option to be like that. But you saw that I am very strong. I gave a very big match to Jerry.
Also, you are saying that I gave hell to the king of the flop presser. So what can Morozov do? Okay, so you are saying that the only thing he can do actually to flop his wrist, but the pressing part will never happen. But this, he is right about this one you are saying.
Yeah, I think that Artem is very strong, but I think in this position, Jerry is much stronger, and I would think that.
And what is the possibility in percentage him to have his wrist during the match? Low?
I'm not sure, but I think that I will top roll him.
You will top roll him?
Yes, yes, I will take his wrist.
Yeah, and did anyone translate to Artem?
Но если ты забрал кисть у Джерри, это не значит, что ты заберешь ее у меня.
Just because you took the wrist of Jerry doesn't mean you're going to take my wrist.
Just because you took the wrist of Jerry Caderet doesn't mean you're going to take my wrist. It's a statement from Steel Morozov. Statement made.
Вы мне покажите человека, с которым Джерри боролся вот так просто. Покажите такого человека. Он даже с крюковиками борется вот так.
Show me someone where Jerry wasn't fighting in this position, where he wasn't losing his wrist. Even with the hook pullers, he fights like that.
Okay, show me one guy who hooked me in my entire career. Nobody can. Even Matyushenko couldn't hook me. Who is one of the best hookers in the world.
Иван Матюшенко весит 110 килограмм.
Ivan weighs 110 kilos.
When we had a match, he was 110 plus category. He was about 125 kilograms 5 years ago. So.
5 лет назад меня не было просто на чемпионате мира у вас.
5 years ago, I wasn't even alive, pretty much.
Okay, we will see.
I wanna just ask a quick question to the two gentlemen sat right up here with us. For everybody who doesn't know, Levan Saganashvili, the very best, the man at the top of the game. The man preceding that is Denis Iplenkov, sat just to his side there. I want to ask firstly yourself, Levan, you look around at the level of the guys that are coming up, Morozov, Hermes, and these are the people that everybody say represents the biggest threats. How far is the difference in your mind between yourself at the peak of the sport and someone like Jerry, Georgie, Steel Morozov, Denis? How close is the threat?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know really how far I am. Actually, I'm very sad for I not pull tomorrow. I really want to pull. When I training for Morozov, I really good shape, and but it is sport. Anything happen, I take some.
And just give us an update. How is the wrist, and when can we expect to see you back at the table? Have you got any kind of prognosis, any kind of plan for time scale when you can return?
I hope I can come back next year, maybe March, April. Now I go doctor every day, and I testing my wrist, but he's pin.
Yeah, he has pin.
His pin again.
You don't
and,
want to risk.
And I need some long time for good health and come back. I wish guys good luck. And I think it is very good match and very interested for watching.
Who do you believe wins tomorrow? Still Morozov or Georgie?
I think favorite is Morozov, but Georgi is very strong and his top roll is very, very strong.
So you will not be surprised if Georgi wins. If there is a possibility that Georgi can win.
A little bit, maybe surprised, a little bit.
You will be surprised
because Georgi not have time for preparation. He only 3 days.
No, he was in good shape already. He was getting ready for WAF.
In good shape?
Yeah.
Oh.
Weeks already for the World Championship in Kazakhstan.
He's only 5 weeks before WAF.
When
also.
I say how he eat.
Oh yeah, yeah.
and again, let me tell you something.
What's that?
Tonight I will not eat. Tomorrow also, and in the evening I will eat Artyom.
Oh, you will eat Artyom? Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah.
Two different men. He eat a lot.
The other guy cannot eat.
The other guy cannot eat.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Who will win?
And then Dennis, how do you see this match? Thank you, Levan.
Ну, скажу то, что это достойный будет поединок. С Георгием разговаривал, то, что он готовится на чемпионат мира Казахстан. Значит, он почти готов, на пике. К сожалению, Морозов немного со здоровьем подвел, да. В весе подубавил, но, надеюсь, силушка осталась, да. Ну, переживаю, конечно, и болею за своего коллегу по команде Морозова. Буду за него болеть. Ну, Георгию удачи желаю. Победит сильнейший, как говорится. А так, и действительно, и тяжелый, и сильный, и титулованный. Поэтому, Тёмыч, готовься, настраивайся.
So, of course, he's supporting his teammate Morozov. He said, of course, with the health problems and the weight and everything, it's much tougher match than it should have been for Artyom. He believes that Georgi is a worthy opponent, definitely strong, very, very experienced, and very, very dangerous. He hopes that the strongest man win on table.
What a matchup that one is. And we have one more match left on the card. One more match to discuss here tonight. It will be the main event of East versus West 8. And it will be contested between two of the very best arm wrestlers on earth right now. First of all, let's speak to my friend, Hermes Gasparini. Hermes, this one came close to not happening. It's been cancelled a number of times in the past. Here we are, 1 day away, and your opponent, the Ginger Dread Man, Big Daddy, Jerry Carteret, is sat right there, and he looks big, and he looks ready. How is your head tonight, brother? How do you feel?
I'm feeling good. I prepare very well. I'm training everything to be here 110%. For sure, I don't underestimate my opponent. I know he has a small chance to win, but I will do my best. I'm in very good shape now.
Let's introduce his opponent, Jerry Carteret. Big Daddy, welcome to East versus West. You gave everybody a scare. It was a nightmare journey, but you made it. Are you ready for what is sat across from you at the table?
First, I want to make sure I thanked Engin for putting together a great meet again. We never seem to get disappointed by what Engin puts together, right? Appreciate it. And we all should, right? So he puts together what other people could only dream of doing. It was a hell of an obstacle to get here, right? But I'm here, so I'm going to put my best foot forward. And it is what it is, right? It sucks that I got the Italian pneumonia, I think, that Hermes sent to me, but...
Don't understand why you continue to make the excuses. I really didn't.
There's no excuse. I'm here. Listen,
now,
no excuse.
I'm here.
Right? Tomorrow we'll find out, right?
I can't
Tomorrow we will
believe
find
you
out.
can lost your passport, you lost the airplane, you lost, you have pneumonia, what is it? Pneumonia? I don't know. You
it is what
crashed
it is.
your
Hey,
car. I
no.
can't believe
Hey,
this shit. I
listen,
can't believe.
Does it matter? Does it matter? I'm here.
I don't know why
Does it
you
matter?
you
Does it
are
matter?
here to play with us.
Does it matter?
There's not disrespect for this.
Disrespect? What are you talking about?
No,
they're all true. They're all true events, so it doesn't matter.
I will teach you
I'm still
tomorrow.
here.
What is it, the respect?
Suck what?
Tomorrow on the table, I will teach you the respect.
You're gonna kiss me?
Yeah.
No, I don't need a kiss.
Tomorrow I will teach you everything.
What? What did he say? He's gonna
He
kiss
says
me?
tomorrow he will teach you
Teach me.
respect.
I'm sorry. Thought he said he was gonna kiss me. But that's okay.
What he said is,
That's fine.
you said tomorrow you will teach him respect?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because he don't have a respect for me, for us, for organization,
For you? You're the one that I said I wanted to.
Yeah, because I'm here, I prepared.
You're the one that I
for
said I
this
wanted
match,
to go against.
And
I
you,
don't know.
3 days
It
ago,
doesn't
you
matter.
don't want to come here.
What are you talking about? I'm still here. Are you blind?
Yeah,
I'm
but
here.
okay. Finally, you are here.
Yeah.
And tomorrow
I don't know. Can you not see that far? I'm right here.
Right, yeah,
Right.
okay.
So regardless of what I went through to get here, I don't give a shit.
It's not a professional attitude, this, for me. I think for everybody.
What are you talking about?
This is not professional attitude.
Not
like
professional? What? That
for
my
the
shit
sport.
that I had to go through to get here? What are you talking about? I don't even understand you. It is what it is.
You understand very well, my
If I had
friend.
to, if I had to
Understand
jump
very
through
well.
hoops to get here, he asked
But
me.
okay,
he
no
asked me what the
problem, no
hoops that I jumped
problem.
through.
Tomorrow.
Hermes, I think you are jealous because his bicep is bigger than yours.
See?
That's what it is, right?
I don't know. Yeah.
No, my friend, the measurement
it got
of
measured,
yesterday
right?
is not correct.
What?
Not correct, the measurement.
He said, I don't measure correct.
Yeah. You measured us both exactly the same, but that's okay. Whatever. We'll get you a couple
My
tissues.
friend, here are more quality. Everybody's too much.
More quality. It's more quantity,
Yeah.
right?
You know, your new name is Fatoret.
Yep.
Fatoret.
Fatoret.
Yeah.
No, we already showed.
Have a new name
we
for
already
you.
lifted up shirts and showed who has a better stomach, right? Like you have one ab, it's
Are
like
you
a keg.
joking? Are you
Right? It's
joking?
like blah, 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 blah. It shows all the Italian pasta you put in there.
Yeah.
Right? Lots of Italian pasta.
No.
It's very good.
I show many videos about you.
That's okay.
It's ridiculous.
Your name is Hermes Gasparini.
I
Garbage
have
weenie.
a lot name for you. Cigarette, cazzoret,
Garbage weenie.
fatoret,
Gabagool.
cagoret.
Gabagoolini. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can take your time, make away your little drawings, do your shit. I don't care, right? Oh, yeah, you get knocked the fuck out, right?
What?
I've been doing the sport longer than he's been alive, but whatever. It doesn't matter, right? So
I'm ready.
I
I'm ready.
wanted.
I'm ready here.
What happened?
Yesterday he kicked with his shoulder.
The shoulder. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you come up behind me to tackle me, what happened? You hit the fullback and oh.
Because
fuck,
he
I
have
fall
too
back.
much scared.
You hit the
about
fullback,
me
you fall
and,
back.
He want to kick me.
That's why you don't play football.
He wanted to delete in this match. With the
So,
kick, like
Hermes,
this, everything.
obviously you talked about respect, but you must respect Jerry's pedigree. You must respect his legacy, what he's done, what he's achieved,
Yeah, for
who he's
sure,
beaten.
for sure. I respect like an athlete, like a person, for sure. He's too older than me. I respect for this.
And your last match was against Levan, an impressive outing. Is this match tomorrow slightly more dangerous because of the style, because of the technique? We saw you with your wrist broken back
Yeah,
with Levan. Are you going to see
I
that?
never pull it with this style. But I show many videos about him, and I prepare everything to be ready 100% for this technique.
What is the possibility that you will be surprised tomorrow? What's the possibility? What's the percentage?
0.5.
0.5.
he have only this technique.
Let's go to Jerry. Similar line of questioning, mate. Obviously, you saw Hermes at his last performance. He gave a bit of a battle to Levan Saganashvili. Is this guy tomorrow your perfect tee-up, the perfect setup for that title shot at the #1 spot in this game?
I've wanted this match for a while. Whether we talk shit or we don't talk shit, he's still a good arm wrestler, right? And it's going to be a difficult match either way. I don't see either opponent walking through this match. I think that you know, he's young. He's going to be in the sport a long time. At 29 years old, he's got a long way to go, right? And oh, I'm sorry, he turned 30. Happy birthday! I got a birthday present for you. It's going to be kicking your ass. So, but at any rate, you know, this is the future of the sport. Is him, Levan, Artem, you know, Georgie. You get all these guys coming in, and I love the energy. I love the passion, right? So if it wasn't there, it's not worth doing, right? So he's the reason that I wanted this match, and I called it out, what, a year ago? Maybe a year and a half ago, right?
Maybe more, maybe more.
Yeah, either way, when other people were talking shit about him, I spoke up and I said, I like him, right? I like the energy. This is what I want, right? Because I want to prove all the naysayers that, you know, vote against me that I'm here. I'm used to being the underdog, so it's fine for me. You know, I like being, Neil calls me the dark horse, the black horse, or whatever the hell it is. When he doesn't call me the gingerbread man, which is, I'm going to smack him for that. But no.
Not as bad as the Brokeback Mountain. Which is my particular
right.
favorite.
That's his favorite movie. Right? So, I think it's going to be a battle, right? And I'm excited for it.
One question I had for you, Jerry. Obviously, you've pulled everyone in this game there is to pull throughout your career, which is over 30 years. Everybody likes to be in the ascendancy and think that they're advancing their career. Is Hermes Gasparini the most difficult opponent you have ever faced in your career? Do you believe that, or do you feel like you've faced harder men, beaten harder men in the past?
I've pulled a lot of people, right? And, you know, John being one of them. So I'm sure he's going to rank highly up there, but I won't know until I line up against him. But, you know, you definitely can't underestimate Hermes. He's powerful, he's fast, he's quick, he's smart. You know, the thing I'm hanging a hat on is he's got a lot less experience, right? And, but his ceiling is unknown, right? Because where he is right now and where he can end up, probably two different areas, right? So I think there's going to be a good potential that he'll be dominant in the sport. I just don't think it's going to be tomorrow.
Is this a more dangerous match in some respects for you, Hermes? Because the last time out when you faced Levan, you had nothing to lose in some respects because you're pulling Levan, right? It's hard to beat Levan. Everybody had you as the underdog. I think many people will have you as the favorite here. Many people will believe you're going to win. Does that put added pressure on you?
Yeah, more, yes, for sure, because I already did this mistake when I fought with Kurdeka. Everybody put me the favorite, and I underestimated my opponent, and I lost. But it's correct like this. And after this lesson, now I want to be prepared 100% every time. Favorite and underdog, I don't care about this.
What an unbelievable match in prospect. Before we want to wrap this thing up, I want to just come across this top table. And there's definitely one opinion, Engin, that I want to get here, and it's got to be the guy sat right next to me, Travis Bajan. Because, Travis, you are one of the best top rollers in the super heavyweight division we've ever seen. You are very familiar with Jerry Caderet and how dangerous this man is. Where is your money tomorrow night? Who do you see coming through this match, Hermes or Jerry Caderet?
I am so thankful that Hermes started the whole conversation off like he did. Listen, what we want is emotion, right? No one really knows who's going to win. I've never seen anyone beat Jerry the first time they pulled him ever in any sort of match. So, but the elephant in the room is how far ahead was Levan. So that that loss to Levon, even though, I mean, Ermis went down 4-0. I've never seen anyone get so much credit for taking an ass whipping. But it was, I guess, impressive if Levon is at that level. And if he is, then we know that there's a level between Levon and Jerry and the rest of the heavyweights. So that's the question. Is there distance? I don't know, but man, I hope it's close. I hope it's close, especially now. And listen, my money is always on the Europeans, but my heart and my fans, I'm always rooting for the Americans.
Travis, you said that you hope it's close. If it is a close match, then where is your money on?
Well, I think Ermis is one of the fast twitch, aggressive, crazy, awesome athletes that could maybe pull Jerry incorrectly and still be successful. However, it just doesn't happen very much. Usually you imagine yourself with that hand and wrist control that your side pressure will be plenty in order to handle this. But as you start to surge sideways, if you don't put some pressure on that elbow, it's going back there at your coach's lap. So you have to take a little of the back pressure off, lay on the tricep. That's where I found the trouble. That's where I explained to Georgie where that trouble could be. And we all seen the leverage and hand positioning that Georgie had on Jerry and still unable to finish. So the truth is, if he's not, if he didn't distance himself from everybody, then he's probably going to be in a crazy awesome war, which is exactly what I'm sure you want, and it's exactly what I think we all want.
Travis, can you say that Jerry is like a unique one that like you can compare with anyone that you have ever met?
Not only can you not compare him to anyone else, you definitely shouldn't try to compare him to most guys that can pull with their hand back, because Jerry's not pulling you in that position because you took his hand. He's pulling you at position because he gave you your hand and he hoped that you took it just far enough away where he can slip into that kitchen, is what I tell people, because once he gets that shoulder in between your hand and shoulder, you're gonna see that you have to be the most amazing person to finish in that way. Good luck, Jerry. I can't believe you let him talk all that shit. If it's me and you ever talk like that, I'm coming up right off of this chair.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a match in prospect. We are going to wrap up tonight's press conference there and face these guys off against each other. We will be back with you in just a few minutes, but first we have some questions from our VIP guests, Elmar, Noel, and Ertzi. We're going to throw the floor open to these guys. When we come back, we will be facing people off. But before we go, let's hear from our VIPs and see if they've got any questions that they want to pose to the table of athletes up here.
Thank you for that opportunity. I have a question for Artyom Morozov. Artyom, tell me, do you prepare for your opponent individuality? Because you trained for one style and got a different style. Does it scare you?
Артем, вопрос тебе. Ты мог подготовиться своего соперника под стилом? Ты готовишься, когда, например, ты знаешь, что будет бороться топ-роллером, будешь работать больше, чем если через групповик?
Да, конечно, я именно так и готовлюсь, но в основном все одинаково. Просто на что-то делается больше упор. Ну, изначально я готовился бороться же с Ливаном, поэтому кисть в любом случае тренировалась больше, чем все остальное. Ну и когда поменяли на Гену, я, в принципе, ничего не менял. Просто тренировался.
So he said, of course, he does some small adjustments for every opponent. For this match, of course, it wasn't the time. He said he trained a lot of his wrist because he was preparing to face Levin, but that match didn't happen. So when he switched to Gennady, he said he didn't change much in his training for that match.
Hello. First of all, thank you very much, Engin, for having us here. I speak for all the people in Mexico and my country that is very excited for this event. Thank you very much for having us here and have the opportunity to speak and be present with these amazing athletes. This is a question for Jerry. We would like to know how prepared are you for this match, Jerry? I know it's similar to other questions, but we all know that when we have a match, we prepare ourselves. But in this particular match, how well do you feel in other matches that you had before? Are you feel that you're 100% or maybe better in this is your best moment, or how do you feel generally for this match?
I feel strong. I was at or better than the weightlifting aspects where you can measure. And I was curling what he was back pressuring, so with one arm. And so I think it should be good.
Hello, I have no question, but I want to say thank you to Engin to have this opportunity. I am like in a dream with all those athletes in front of me, and good luck for everybody tomorrow. Thank you to all.
Okay, I want to also quickly ask to Levan's and Dennis's opinion about Jerry versus Hermes match.
This is a very big match in history arm wrestling. One of the best top roller with how is terrible technique name? Yeah, how?
Dead wrist, shoulder pressure, or flop press.
Flop press, yes. He is the best in the world. This, yes, it's history, and maybe in history, Hermes is best, one of the best top roller, and I think in the world, one of the men who I can believe who can defeat Jerry is Hermes. But all time, I think Jerry will lose, but Jerry all time win, and very hard to think who will be winner. But my money on Hermes. I think he's very good shape now. When we pull in Dubai, I think now is better shape when here, and he has good progress. I see his trainings, how he do 92 kilo, and it is very, very hard.
I want to also ask you that you said that you think that Hermes is now in even better shape than when he was in, when I was in Dubai. And then in Dubai, he gave you some hard time after 4-0, even at the third round, first start. When you now say that Hermes is even now stronger than that time, does it make you feel like, you know, I need to train harder because other guys are coming?
Yes, that is why I have this problem.
Because you push yourself. Yeah.
Yes, I think.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, he said that, yeah, he told me that when he hurt his wrist, he was in the best shape of his life. And then, yeah, he was really pushing his limits, probably because he also saw that Hermes gave him troubles. And Dennis, what do you think about Hermes versus Jerry?
Ну, Джерри своим волшебным стилем многих ставит в неловкое положение, но я думаю, Эрмесу с его опытом и силой хватит, чтобы выиграть, одолеть этот стиль. Ставлю на Эрмеса.
He said, Jerry has a magic technique where he puts people in a very uncomfortable position and where it's very hard to break, but he believes Hermes has the power, has the experience, and he's putting his money on Hermes.
Right before we close, are we gonna see you two pull in someday soon? I'm talking about Levan Saginashvili and Denis Siplenko. Maybe a year, Denis?
Ну, я же говорил, то есть у меня все как бы распланировано. Если с Деваном получится более-менее хорошо, а лучше выиграть, конечно, тогда будем рассматривать уже поединок с Ливаном.
He said everything, how to say, step by step, everything is planned. If everything goes good with Devon, next step is Levin.
And what's the first step for him? He said this? Uh-huh. Then second is Devon. And, okay, today he asked me to film him, and he showed me something on the phone about Devon, and Devon also responded. Was he joking about it, or he was serious?
Какие шутки могут быть? То есть он же сначала отбросил наш поединок на ноябрь, потом у него что-то не получается, я опять в этом виноват остался. Ну, поэтому все это по-честному.
He said, no jokes. First, we're trying to set up the match. Then he wanted, then he couldn't. He said, and now it's like my fault the match didn't happen. None's going to happen next month. So, no jokes.
And Levan, are we going to see you someday pulling against Dennis when he's ready?
Yes, I will be very happy.
Okay, so I'm done.
Ladies and gentlemen, that draws this to a conclusion. We're going to leave it there. We're going to get this place cleared out and face these guys off. We'll be back with you in just a few moments. to Istanbul. East versus West 8, the face-off. We're going to line these guys up. And we want you to give them a round of applause as they make their way up to meet Engin Terzi up there. First of all, in our first match of the night, Mindaugas Terasaitis of Lithuania, Hristo Delajakov, Bulgaria. Men's lightweight division right-hander. Mindaugas Terasaitis, Hristo Delajakov will kick us off tomorrow night at East versus West. Size them up, guys. Who you got at home for East versus West? A man who mastered arm wrestling, or the referee that is more than just a referee. Tomorrow night, they will start us at East versus West. And as they turn front and center, who looks better in the shirt? Let yours taste decide. Ladies and gentlemen, that is match number 1. Hristo Delajakov. Mindaugas Terasaitis will start us off. In our second match of the night, representing the United States of America, it's Elizabeth Masek. She will be representing the USA. Elizabeth's first outing here at East versus West. Expect big things from the qualifier winner from the US. Her opponent hails from Sweden, and she is known as the Flame, Karolina Pettersson. Karolina Pettersson. Elizabeth Masek. Our ladies match up tomorrow night. Who you got? Karolina in red, Elizabeth in the black. USA versus Sweden. And those are arms right there, ladies and gents. In our third match, we go to the men's middleweight division. Ladies and gentlemen, Toms Rosets of Latvia will face the Bama Bull, Justin Bishop. USA's own here at East versus West. Match number 3 is a banger. 2 big reputations on the line. And if you look at that, the tail of the tape, nothing to choose between these boys. Who will show up with it tomorrow night? Toms Rosets of Latvia in red. The Bama Bull is the man in the black shirt from the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, our 4th match. We go up in weight class for this one, and welcome 2 arm wrestlers from different ends of the spectrum. First of all, representing Romania, welcome Andrei Lightning Cipriano. And he will face the king of Australia. Ladies and gents, welcome the Anvil, Lachlan Adair. Lachlan Adair, Andrei Ciprianov. Some people in Australia say it will be a mismatch tomorrow. It's all about the proving. The Anvil and Lightning will face tomorrow night here at East versus West. Sizing those guys up, who you got at home, ladies and gents? 2 big forearms. The next matchup, we have got 2 guys at opposite ends of the experience spectrum. First of all, welcome making his debut here in East versus West, Rino Masek. The Croatian sensation, 18 years of age. He will face South Africa's own signature arm wrestler, Mr. Terence Opperman. Terence Opperman, Rino Masek. Rino, that little size advantage and creates some space, but tomorrow night there will be no space. Who will go home with the win? Opperman in the black shirt. Rino Masek is the man in the red shirt from Croatia. It's on tomorrow, East versus West 8. And we roll forward with the card, and what a card it is. Next up, representing the USA, raise it up for Mr. Chance, the Tugboat Shaw. And he will face the decorated athlete from Ukraine, Oleg Petrenko. Oleg Petrenko, Chance Shaw, very much a battle of styles. Petrenko in the red shirt of Ukraine. Chance Shaw is the man in the black from the United States of America. What a match tomorrow, East versus West 8. Who you got? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome next up Mr. Emil Amisadyan, Armenia's own. This guy is a dark horse. His debut here at East versus West, but look at the arms on this young man, and he will face the Moldovan who has made his name here at East versus West, Mr. Daniel Prokopchuk. Armasadyan and Prokopchuk tomorrow night. There's a visible size difference there, and will that count on the night? Emil, underrated by many. He wants to prove tomorrow night that he is the man in charge in this weight division. Daniel Prokopchuk will try to put the brakes on him early. What a matchup there. We go into the big boys to close things out with our final 4 matches. And first of all, representing the United States of America, give a big round of applause for Pablo Davidenia. And his opponent hails from Latvia. He is the reigning European and world champion, Sandris Panzashedis. Sandris Shedis, Pavlo Davideniev. You can see there's a height difference there, and you can see the size of the arms on these boys. Nobody playing games tomorrow night. Who will triumph? Will it be power? Will it be technique? The MF chef looking to cook it up. What a match. East versus West, delivering the best in the world as always. No exception there. And our next match, we go to a classic matchup for the times. First of all, representing Brazil, please welcome this man. He is known as Jack Jesus, Wagner Bortolato! And his opponent hails from right here in Turkey, and his name is Ferit Osmanli. Here we go. Wagner Bortolato, Ferit Osmanli. These men have been around the game forever. Tomorrow, only one can win this left arm encounter. And we've never seen Wagner Bortolato look more stacked than he does here. But the experience of Ferit Osmanli is something to behold. Next match on the card, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to welcome these men now up to the center of the stage. Firstly, representing Bulgaria, welcome George Svatkov. And his opponent needs no introduction here at East versus West. Welcome, Steel Morozov. Artem Morozov, a leaner, slicker version than we've seen before. The man from Kazakhstan has the height advantage, but there's no doubt about the thickness of Georgy Svetkov. This guy is solid. Who will triumph tomorrow? Big boys. Svetkov in black, Steel Morozov, Artem Morozov in the red shirt. And ladies and gentlemen, that leaves us with one more match. It is the main event match here at East versus West 8 tomorrow night. If you have not got your pay-per-view, what is your problem? Get over there and buy it right now. For nothing else, you will see this match, and it is going to be a banger. Ladies and gentlemen, firstly, welcome this man. He hails from and is representing the United States of America. He is known as the Gingerbread Man, Big Daddy Jerry Carteret. And his opponent represents Italy. He is known as the Gladiator Hermes Gasparini. Here we go. Tomorrow night, East versus West 8, the big boys in the main event. Hermes, the Gladiator, Gasparini, and the Gingerbread Man, Jerry Carteret, will face off. Who will be victorious? Gasparini looking for the wrist. That much I'm sure he'll get. Will he get the arm? We'll find out tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event tomorrow night. The Gingerbread Man, Jerry Carteret, the man in the black shirt representing the USA. And look at the face of the Gladiator. Tutti frutti, all the fruits. There it is, the Gladiator, Hermes Gasparini. Remember, guys, the pay-per-view is available now. Look in the link, look in the description. Get over to the Coresports site. Get this thing purchased. We're going to hear a quick word, I believe, from Engin Terzi. He's gone walkabout. You want me to close it now? Okay, yeah, okay. Sure. No problem. Yeah. Check the size. The East versus West heavyweight belt there. Just little size check for Hermes. Wants to make sure whether or not that fits. Can he get that on? Breathe in now. Me and Engin have been doing it all night.
He can't put the
It's a tight fit, but we think it's doable. Jerry Carteret, Hermes Gasparini. Tomorrow night, one of these guys will hold this belt aloft. We will know who. Carteret and Gasparini, East versus West 8, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow, it goes down here in Pendick. Tune in, make sure you buy your pay-per-view, and we will see you all tomorrow night around 8 o'clock. It goes down. It's time. Engin Terzi has assembled the very best. Tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, 8 o'clock here in Istanbul. We will find out who is the number one in the heavyweight division at East versus West. We'll see you then.